Thank you, Chairman Van Orden and Ranking Member Pappas. I appreciate you letting me wave onto the committee today. Join you all. An amazing committee. Represents the best that our country has ever put forward. Our brothers and sisters in arms. Couldn't appreciate every single one of you more. Love you all to the depths of my heart, that is for sure. I want to speak to you all about squatters. Squatters in the homes of our service members. This is something that, despite being on the Veterans Affairs Committee, came through this committee as the Service Member Civil Relief Act, even though it affects those that are in service still. And so anybody who has a friend or a family member that is serving in uniform or has served, you know the challenges associated with going away, with being on deployment, being on a float, moving across the country, maybe having to have a home that you've lived in that you haven't had the opportunity to sell yet before you have to be change your duty station somewhere else across the country. Just a number of different difficulties that are associated with that military lifestyle and having to transition across the globe. And I couldn't really imagine something that would be more infuriating than coming back from a deployment or a float or a training exercise or some long extended period away and finding squatters in my home. And whether that be a home that was my primary residence or if I had an investment or anything else like that, it would be an extremely frustrating, to say the least, situation and costly situation, because a number of states actually have laws that do more to protect the squatters than protect the service member homeowners from the squatters, which is an entirely sour part of this problem. And so what I want to ask, number one, is can any of y'all speak to what you've seen about service members returning to squatters in their home? Do any of you have an experience in this?
I appreciate the question. I have not, and for the Civil Relief Act, this is one that we have deferred to DOD since we're talking active duty, so VA doesn't have any equity, but I'm not familiar with any.
Understand the critical importance of this issue. The department takes that back for the record.
You'll take it for the record, is that what you said? Thank you.
And sir, I have no experience.
Appreciate that. I did introduce a piece of legislation related to this. It's what we call the Service Member Residence Protection Act. And it is specifically to go to the parameters of what I outlined. And while these squatters laws, they do vary from state to state, they do generally allow trespassers to claim ownership of a property if it's simply open, unoccupied, if their stay is continuous on the property. These are things that they'll try to demonstrate to the state, even though they have no contract, no legal binding to these properties. And then removing them from the properties, again, it takes a lengthy legal intervention. We have very specific cases that we've looked at where service members have spent upwards of $50,000, which is a tremendous amount of money for any of us on a military salary, as anybody can recognize, to try and get these people out in legal fees. And so I would ask you all, as individuals that certainly have a background in this world, do you see squatters moving into the homes of our service members as an issue affecting national security?
Honestly, sir, I'm not sure I can answer that question.
You don't see that as affecting the readiness of a service member if they're dealing with legal headaches as it relates to somebody unlawfully being in their home or taking over their residence, leaving the toilet seat down, utilizing their silverware, their plates, their dishes, sitting on their couch, putting their feet up, watching a television, all the while they can't get them out of their home?
Respectfully, sir, I don't have a position, and I don't represent my personal opinion.
Madam Clark, Dr. Clark.
Agree with my VA colleagues that understand the seriousness of this, and I don't have an opinion on this.
No opinion about whether that affects the readiness of service members?
In line with my VA colleague here, too, that understand the importance of this topic.
No opinion about whether it affects the readiness of service members?
We'll have to take that for the record.
Really?
The department remains committed to being able to provide information to the subcommittee.
Okay, just looking for opinion, right? Department of Defense. All right.
Representing my personal opinion here, I'm representing the department.
Certainly, the opinion of the Department of Defense. All right, well, that's how you want to answer it. don't have any other choice but to accept that. It is an issue that affects a number of our service members. I've had the opportunity to speak to some of them that have been specifically affected by this. Again, pointing out the dollar amounts that it's costing them. And I would just thank the ranking member and chairman for the opportunity to speak about this as an issue that I believe affects readiness because of the personal impact it has on individuals. And you've given me ample time. I appreciate that. And thank you for the great work you all do on this incredible committee.